I think I'm just going to go right ahead. I won't give you all the statistics and everything, but I think my portion is going to be more practical and fun, I hope. But still will be giving you something. Oh, wait a sec. This is not it, right?
Is that one of your slides?
Oh, I see. We rearranged that. I see. Thank you. I just, okay. Basically, I'll just give you a few slides. As Dr. Chen earlier alluded to, there really is no concrete research in terms of nutrition, dietary, what it impacts in association with ovarian cancer. However, with some of the preventative study, we do see a few things. Basically, we know that a couple of studies that from the preventive point of view is dietary vitamin A. Again, we're talking about dietary, not the supplements. Dietary vitamin A and carotenoids are modestly prevent as protective against epithelial of ovarian cancer, particularly in the smokers. Because we know ovarian cancer cell line is from epithelial cells. So we know the carotenoid most likely give a protective effect. Then a typical Western diet, this is very consistent with the numerous types of cancer study. The diet that is high in the meats and the fats has positive correlation with ovarian cancer versus a diet is low in the vegetables may be positive associated with ovarian cancer. So positive association is high diet. And diet is cholesterol, the eggs and everything. And then again, inverse association of high vegetable consumption, particularly cruciferous vegetable, which I will be highlighting a little bit later on, and supplements of vitamin E and B's and the complex. And that piece I'm not 200% sure, okay. But then effective diet on survivorship. This is a study they looked at about 3 years of the retrospective study of 600 women with invasive ovarian cancer. Basically what they're looking at outcome, evaluating the woman's diet, pre-diagnosis, basically pre-diagnosis. And basically what they found is that there's an inverse association with increase of vegetable intake for that duration period of time of the study of 3 years. And the cruciferous vegetable again, and the vitamin E from the food. Okay. And I think this study basically implying to that women who actually maintain a high vegetable intake prior to their diagnosis, most likely they may continue to follow a much healthier diet than women who ate less vegetables to begin with. Am I making sense? One of their recent new study is showing that less than 15 to 19% cancer survivors actually consume 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. That is our national statistics right now. Okay. So overall, is that we're really looking, the word is a vegetable, and I will talk about that later on. So this study is a huge study, as recently published. I think this basically European study. It's called the European Perspective Investigation of the Cancer and Nutrition Study. And out of the study, they looked at 227,000 women over like a time of close to 9 years, basically 8.9 years, basically. Out of the study, about 611 women were diagnosed with ovarian cancer. So what they have found out of this is that we know that obesity is a very important modifiable risk factor. Can you hear me? Should I speak louder? Okay. And so basically what we're looking at is BMI. BMI, body mass index. Hopefully you all know your body mass index, or do the Google search. You'll find plug in your height or your weight, you'll find your BMI. Is a BMI greater than 30 basically classified as obese? BMI less than 25, between 20 to 25 basically is good, healthy body weight. Okay. What they were looking at, ovarian cancer risk increased overall by 33% of the obese category. But the increased risk is dramatically higher by 59% for post-menopausal women. Okay. Association was weaker for premenopausal women. So now I'm going to go ask you something. Since we're the holiday season, I'm just going to do some true and false questions, or sold or not sold per Jay Leno. Sold or not sold. Most people gain several pounds over, since we're talking about the weight, over the holiday season. What do you think?
True.
Oh,
True.
true. I say true.
You'll find out.
Gain 10 pounds.
Now the answer actually is false, okay? There's really no evidence. You looked all over, even I was wrong. I think last year I was telling Sandy, most Americans gain about 2 to 5 pounds over the holiday season. Actually, there was no evidence actually support 5 to 10 pounds of weight gain over the holidays. And actually, National Institute of Cancer and Health actually did a study on 200 people, found out most people actually gain less than a pound. But that was between Thanksgiving and the New Year Day. Okay, I think the study actually should have lasted till about end of January. Because all the leftover the cookies and desserts. That's through Valentine's Day, right? And second question. So true or false?
True.
One heavy, high-fat meal may hurt you over the holiday.
Is that false? I say true.
Let's see. Let me go to the point here. Okay. So actually false. Actually false. Research actually showed, okay, this is an old study. We see it all the time with cardiovascular research, is that after 1 hour, a few hours, after a high-fat meal, you see the blood get thicker, and actually there's a blood vessel stiffens up, and triglyceride level rises. You can literally see the video graph. Okay. Now I know a lot of times we blame a Thanksgiving turkey because tryptophan, right? But have you heard that? Eating your turkey and put you to sleep. And finally we realized it's possibly because the high-fat diet from your gravy, from your dessert, from everything, actually blood vessel just stiffens up and circulation slows down and also so on and so forth. So the answer is false. So suggestion basically actually just take a quick walk. 2 hours after eating, take a walk. Hopefully it will lighten up. And the other trick is to load up more fruits and vegetables. Hopefully the chemical compound and the antioxidant from your fruits and vegetables will help you at least one thing. Counter the pro-inflammatory response that created by high-fat foods. Okay. Now stop short. Of course, easiest thing is stop short of foraging. Now the other thing, you can let your exercise routine slide a little during the holiday season and still stay fit. You are smart. Yes, actually it's true. Because after you having conditioned your body for over a period of time, it really takes quite several weeks to decondition yourself, okay? But the truth is that you're missing 1 session, you miss 2 sessions of walking, you miss even 3 sessions of walking. Don't give up. Because I do know during the holiday time gets, stressed out, okay? So set a time, just go out shopping. That's your best exercise. And most women enjoy shopping, so I think basically even a 3 brisk 10 minutes walk really end up equivalent to 30 minutes continuous walking. Because research is really consistent. No matter what you do, as long as you add up to be about 30 minutes, the result is the same. The last thing I won't bore you is to avoid temptation. A holiday event, you should eat a meal before you go. Weight Watcher always teach that, right? It's true or false? You're correct. Actually, just eat a very light snack, because what you do is that holiday season is I want you to enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy the gathering. Truly is, but you don't want to go in totally starving yourself. One of the things is that with the ovarian cancer, as cancer treatment in general, when you're so hungry and you start gorging, inevitably you suffer 2 things. You feel bloating, you feel gassy, you're every up and down all over the map, okay? So just for you to feel comfortable, really have a light snack before you go in so hungry, but have a game plan, okay? The game plan is eat wise, eat smart. How do you do that? Basically, I really tell my patients, reserve half your plate. I kind of think your plate, reserve half a plate with all your vegetables, okay? And then don't load up your plate with all the fillers. For example, mashed potato drowned with gravy, bread with the butter. All it does just fill up your stomach, empty calories, doesn't do you anything, right? So you basically have your vegetables and you have your meats, and save some space for a little bit dessert. That is perfectly fine. healthy food just are not as festive. TinRin again, that's boring stuff, right? All she does. Actually, you know, people come to my house, they really say, oh gosh, when I come to your house, I get the best meal. It's the best thing because loaded with color. I invite you, if you haven't been to my cancer support community, I'm doing one this coming Saturday. Okay, so if you, a lot of people say, oh, they come just for food. I say that's fine too. Okay, so fruits and vegetables actually provide a great color for your table. And toss your, you do some the oven tossed vegetable with garlic vinaigrette. It's very popular. That's the hottest thing right now in the market. And for dessert, is the other very nice thing my girlfriend did, and everybody gobbled down. So you can do individual plate or you can do a large plate. Cut up all the slices of fruit, drizzle with liqueur. Okay, and then you can do either chocolate sauce or top with some of the whipped cream. It turns out fantastic, beautiful, beautiful dessert. So holiday food can actually be good for you, okay? Because we're really focusing on your pumpkin. So I'm going to go real fun and fast right now. Why are we talking about vegetables? Okay, when we look at data, very consistently is vegetable give a body of protection. Why? Because we know the chemical compound. Right now we can isolate about 500,000 chemical compounds in the fruits and vegetable, herbs and spices. What do they do in the research lab? Is that inhibits both initiation and the promotion of the cancer cell formation. Because we really don't know what's causing that one singular cell that basically bypasses your entire body surveillance. What happened? Okay, so basically we're looking at by giving your body tremendous amount of fruits and vegetables, the colorful compounds, hopefully will help you to prevent or decrease that risk factor. Secondly, the phytochemical compound also modulate your gene expression, okay? Therefore inhibits cancer carcinogenesis, cancer formation. Right now we're looking at some of the study is that, of course, for cancer treatment, we have to rely on some surgery, absolutely ovarian cancer, absolutely some of the chemotherapy if the surgical does not give us the absolute results. But in addition to that, for the survivorship, we never know what are the residual cells left in your body because clinical speaking is non-detectable, right? Until recurrence occurs. But what can we do during this time? Only based on food and lifestyle. So only thing we know in the research, the whole thing by utilizing enough chemical compound to modulate the cells. What I tell people, the modulation is mentoring cell-to-cell dialogue. Because your body continue to communicate to each other through the DNA, through the cell communication, through the enzymatic pathway. So basically that's the word I use is a mentoring system, okay? Regulate your cell growth and differentiation. Because we're the genomic state. We know that chemical compound can really modify the gene, regulate the gene, whether to promote the cancer cell growth in the rapid rate or slow down its growth rate. And all our goal is to slow down the cancer cell growth rate, and we are winning. And lastly, of course, we're looking at some of the cell arrest. Stop the cell growth, basically apoptosis, program cell. That's the chemotherapy. And hopefully when the chemotherapy is done, we can utilizing greater chemical compound to achieve hopefully similar purpose, but not as profound or dramatic as chemotherapy. Now talking about cruciferous vegetable. These are your brassica family, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, everything, kale, your mustard green. So for my black population, I really encourage them just cook a big pot of greens. Wonderful, love it. Okay, for a general public right now, really is Brussels sprout season, right? Dry roast your Brussels sprouts. Give you what? All these family, the biggest thing, not only just the vitamins, okay? What we're looking at right now is eating your chemicals from the food that innately provide a lot we call sulforaphane family, or we call indole, 3-carbinol. Maybe you heard all these compounds, okay? What it does is actually promote the enzymatic reaction, okay? Enzyme to inactivate your estrogen or actually the cell replication. The other one, the biggest one, is up there, regulates phase 2 enzyme. When we talk about detoxifying enzyme, it truly is from the cellular level. Doesn't mean when I tell people detoxifying, most people think, oh, TinRin, I do have bowel movement, I drink enough fluids for detoxifying. But this is the cellular level. Right now in the genomes, we do know some people, their phase 2 enzyme, it basically is to detoxify your cells or actually decrease that carcinogen formation. But many people's phase 2 enzyme actually seems to be downregulated, or we call it dormanting. We don't know why. Just like baseball game, your second base people went to sleep. They missed the ball. That's all I can explain. Okay, so basically using cruciferous vegetable is to wake up that gene, say, come on, get to work. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do, and therefore interfere to tumor growth rate. Then citrus. Powerful. This again, winter season is citrus time. Citrus, besides your vitamin C in your fruit, but biggest thing I invite you to look at it is to eat the pulp, eat the rind, eat the zest. Okay, because what are you having is limonene, beta carotenes. So what you can do is when you're making salad dressing, do some of the lemon zest in your salad. When you're cooking a pancake, when you're making a muffin, when you're making a salad dressing, put some of the lemon zest into your salad dressing, okay? One of the very powerful pectin is in the pith that give you that bitter taste. Many of you do the juicing, right? When you're really doing the juicing, just cut up the whole piece of lemon and throw through the juicing so you are benefiting from everything besides just the vitamin C from the fruit itself, okay? And the other thing, carotenoid family, there's a huge family now, carotenoids. Not only just from your carrot to yam and sweet potatoes, leafy green, but it comes from your dark vegetable as well, okay? So do you remember years ago, 1996, they did a carrot study for lung cancer. They used beta carotene, right? And nowadays, we start realizing the beta carotene actually didn't do anything. The study had to be aborted because the risk of disease of a lung cancer smoker, they actually die sooner and also have a greater risk of lung cancer. The problem with that study was that they only isolated one thing, beta carotene. But I want you to take a look. Currently, we isolate 563 carotenoid elements. Why would you single out one person, right, and leave the rest 562 members out of not putting them to work? So when I tell people, if you're going to be fighting the war, you better send your whole family instead of sending your second son, right? Okay. So eat the whole thing with your beta carotene, and so provitamin, because we do know protect immune cells, gives you immune cells. The other thing right now we do see the carotenoid. One of the biggest things is that works on epithelial cells. Right, your eyes, your lutein, your zeaxanthin protect you from macular degeneration. We also know with the skin, with your lycopene, with your lutein, the sunlight bounces back, therefore protect you against the skin cancer, as well as decrease your aging spots. Okay, some of you, one look at patient's skin, I can almost tell what are they eating, what have they been eating, not eating. Very interesting, or do they get enough oil, different things, okay. And biggest thing is that we want to focus on the carotenoid because decreases one of the cancer risks, including ovarian cancer. You heard that earlier. Garlic onion family, this is huge, again because of organosulfur, okay. It's a great detoxification enzyme. It also stimulates cancer-fighting immune cells. That's one of the biggest ones. Besides, we know the garlic is great for the heart. We have a lot of studies on that. Now, herbs, this is a huge kingdom, okay? The herbs, what we're talking about, anything, everything under the sun. I highlight turmeric because these are the hottest spices right now being going through the research. Turmeric, one of the biggest through MD Anderson. You're looking at a lot of universities are doing the turmeric study because of curcumin in the turmeric. You know what's the highest in the curcumin in the American diet? Your mustard, your French mustard, that yellow color, that is it, okay? A lot of people say, TinRin, I don't like to use the curry, I can't stand the curry, this and that. Actually, turmeric doesn't have much flavor at all. It only gives that yellow color, okay? So try to add them into your salad dressing. If you say my salad dressing, I want to add some of the mustard in my salad dressing, you're getting the turmeric. When you're cooking the scrambled eggs, put some in your scrambled eggs with your pepper. It works very well when you cook the egg frittata, okay? Rosemary, everybody's backyard probably have rosemary bushes, right? You don't have to buy organic because pests don't come to the rosemary. So I really don't understand people sell organic rosemary. You chop them up. This is winter season. Rosemary is very potent antioxidant as well as anti-carcinogen. Tons of studies that's been done by American Institute of Cancer Research. Okay, you can literally do a Google search, American Institute of Cancer Research with the recipes. And this is my favorite herb. Is I just chop it up, I add garlic, chop it up, I toss it with my olive oil with a little bit of salt, and then I do my dry roasting with your, what do you call these, Brussels sprouts? All the cruciferous vegetable works very well with the rosemary. Even summer squash works very well with the rosemary. Okay, oregano, you know, oregano in all the spaghetti foods, and cinnamons, basils, mints. Okay. And great, adding some of the mint into your salad. That works very well. How to reduce your fats? Okay, roast your vegetable. You know why we roast a vegetable? Because it brings out the sweetness of your vegetable rather than your saute, your stir fry. Because you can taste the sweetness with all your winter beets, with your peppers and everything. Okay. The other thing is to serve the sweet potato with orange slices. Okay. One of the things I really like to do, or probably I'll do this coming Saturday at the Cancer Support Community, is I do the sweet potato bake, okay? It's really turned out beautiful recipe, or you can do is bake your sweet potato, also dry roast some the green apple. It gives you that sweet and tart, and throw lots of cinnamon powder on it. It's a wonderful recipe, okay? And the other thing is select healthier fat. I'm not a person to tell you no fat at all, because you do need a fat. Remember, all your carotenoids, all your vegetables, spices, herbs requires a fat to absorb. So you cannot do a fat-free diet. It's not something I support at all, because having the fat will help you absorb the valuable chemical compounds. You have to do that, okay, because efficiency. By adding the olive oil with your tomato, you increase that lycopene absorption by literally 5-folds than without olive oil. If you cook the tomato, you also increase that absorption by another 5-folds. So you can either eat this way or eat the other way for efficiency's sake, okay? So remember, you just want to choose some of the better fats, okay? Whether it's olive oil, coconut oil, it's very good right now. Coconut oil, coconut milk, and also butter. You can still use a small amount of butter, okay? I think people think I'm crazy, you still add some butter, because butter has the other different type of fatty acid for good for the human, really does. So just use very small amounts, just about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons, just give a little flavor is good enough. Skim your fats, you know that. Oh, the other thing, toast nuts and toast your nuts so you can get a greater flavor. Dr. Lerner was alluding that increased risk BRCA1 gene, right? And I'll tell you, one of the studies done years ago was selenium. Selenium actually modified BRCA1 gene for some reason. And when we looked at study by giving people selenium supplement doesn't seem to do the trick. But the best selenium source is Brazil nuts and your white mushroom. Okay, so incorporate that into your diet. Sample recipe, then I'll be done, is this is traditional green beans casserole. My sister-in-law brings this every single year for the last 25 years, so I can tell you. Okay, and you know, until a couple of years ago, she changed, because both she and her husband cholesterol level went up sky high. She said, what do I need to do? I said, just start quitting doing all these cream and sauces. I just want to invite you to take a look at this real simple thing. Total fat is 54 grams for this whole bowl, and saturated fat is 20 grams. How do we modify the recipe? Basically, I just want you to consider is that what can be substituted in the recipe when you look at the whole thing. What flavor is desired for you? Do you desire for greater fats, or do you desire for greater taste of the vegetable essence of the vegetables? What texture do you really want? Do you want a pile of mush, or do you want a crunchy? Okay. And what could be added? Okay. What can you really add it or substitute for certain things? So this is the recipe actually adapted from Eating Well magazine. And so options you could do, the onion topping, instead of buy the fried onion stuff, okay, it's loaded with hydrogenated fat, loaded with saturated fats, you can make your own onion, okay, by adding olive oil and also breadcrumbs. So you can bake that off. And the sauces and the green beans, instead of using all the creams, you use soy milk, you can use almond milk, but almond milk actually doesn't give you as thicker texture as soy milk would. And you add all the spices you want to, okay? And then will come out. Take a look, total fat is half amount for original recipe, and your saturated fat is only a third of the original recipe. And actually, this recipe turned out much better per my liking. Okay, so that's just very simple to go through all these. Basically, encouragement is holiday season. I love for you to just enjoy, but pick your food wisely. Focus on the greater fruits and vegetables and smaller amounts on your fatty foods, and you will win. Thank you so much.